Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this will be a much quicker video. There was something that I wanted to talk about in relation to the Bud Light VP doubling down. And, I went through most of my opinions, most of my thoughts on that, but there was a bit of information that came out afterwards that I did want to cover because I think it's significant and I think it actually does have a lot of insight into this particular situation. Now, after I talk about this, unless there's a whole host of new news on this, not really going to do many videos on it. I have other topics to cover, but what I wanted to show you was this. On March 31st, Anheuser Busch had a 132.38 billion market cap. As of today, it's now 128.4 billion. So that's 128.4 billion. You know what that means? The woke Bud Light campaign has already shaved off nearly 4 billion in company value. That is massive. Understand, a company's evaluation, like how much the company, oh, of course it's the quartering. What the hell happened? Where is it? Oh, God. Oh, disaster. I don't know why that updated. I didn't click anything. Oh, boy. All right, well, that was interesting. So, yeah, as it was saying, the company valuation was 128 billion, which was down from the 132 billion. So the reason why that's so significant, the reason why that matters as much as it does, is because you can see a noticeable change, and not only will that cause people to reevaluate, like if they're gonna be disenfranchised or discouraged and be like, oh, this isn't working, they'll take a look at that and say, wow, this is actually working, and they'll double down. I mean, it's great news for people that are looking to make a difference. Why the hell did that disappear? Let me just make sure that doesn't go away. Okay. So this is for April 10th. Yeah, that is significant. That is absolutely significant, and we'll be monitoring this to see just how much further it goes down. Because what we're dealing with here is a breaking point. You have corporations that are using beer to promote something that is despicable, ugly, and wrong. Now, you could think that I'm talking about, transgenders in general. No. Don't really give a shit what a person does. After the age of 18, if they are deluded enough and invested in the far left cult enough to believe that mutilating themselves and going hundreds of thousands of dollars into debt and doing irreparable damage to their body and making themselves sterile is going to make them happy, then you know what? Go ahead. There's only so much people can advise you on before, you just have to say, okay, you're going to make your own mistakes. But the problem is that Dylan Mulvaney is attempting to play the role of a woman for attention, and in the process is normalizing this despicable and downright evil ideology, which has as its design the confusion of young kids. Many children are going to be hurt because they look at somebody like Dylan Mulvaney and they say, oh, well, that's normal. Well, no, it's not. You have people that aren't going to realize that Dylan Mulvaney is a scam artist. that they're playing a role, and so they're going to go all in. They're going to sterilize themselves. They're going to butcher themselves, and they're going to take irreparable medication in order to do what is trendy, to do what Dylan Mulvaney did, to do what these, companies promoting these people are saying to do. So yeah, it's a big problem, and many people are taking issue with it because it's not normal, it's not natural, it's not right, it's evil. You are condemning kids to live a miserable, sterile life because you want attention and you want a virtue signal and you want to hate on other people. There really is nothing quite so evil as the transgender movement online, which seeks to target children. So, looking at this, it's good news. It's something. It is massive, that drop. $4 billion for a company like that, it may not seem like much. But when you have to explain, why did you lose this amount of money? Why did you do this? Well, I wanted to make the brand more inclusive. It's like the reasoning from that dumb low IQ bimbo that we showed in the last video. The reasoning that she had is just absolutely moronic. And if anyone actually questions her, she's not going to have an answer because it's incomprehensibly stupid. It's a very female decision, which is to say she's in her feelings. She's like, we need a brand revamp, and we're not going to go for those toxic men. We're going to go for sunshine and rainbows, and we're going to be diverse and inclusive. Diverse and inclusive by alienating a majority of your audience. Do you not see how fucking retarded you dumb, low-class, bitter white women are? It's like there are normal white women, and then there are these Karens. And it blows my mind how fucking obnoxious these creatures are. I don't understand. I don't understand them. I don't even think we're the same species in terms of intellect and in terms of reasonability. Because I look at somebody like that and I go, I have nothing in common with that. I have nothing in common with someone who gets a job and instead of looking at where they are and looking at the customer base, looking at the brand, looking at who's your customer and who's not your customer, and where are avenues that we could grow. Maybe the brand is doing a little bit worse than usual. Where can we grow with Bud Light? Maybe add some new flavors. Maybe add some new color schemes for, certain months. Maybe focus more on getting it into a certain group. Not that group. Not the transgender group, which is like not 0.1% of the population. No, I'm talking about making Bud Light an official beer of something. Making it mean something, because it doesn't mean anything right now. And you're losing money. Taking that time to really evaluate, putting your personal feelings aside, that is what it takes to be on top. But here you have some millennial moron. Some woman who's probably never been told no in her life. Everyone probably lies to her because, either they just don't want to deal with her or they want to sleep with her. I mean, although I couldn't imagine that. I mean, my God. But, hey, some men can be that fucking desperate. But, people tell these women what they think they want to hear for whatever reason, and they never hear the truth. I bet this woman has never heard some of my critiques, that she's a fucking idiot, and that her ideas are cancerous, and that she is bad for business, and that if I were in charge, I would fire her in a second, because it's not just about the fact that she had a bad idea. It's about the fact that she had a bad idea, and she didn't put it past any sort of check or balance. She just did it. She just moved on it. Like, okay, I want to run an internal poll, or I want to see what the result of this would be. What would happen if we decided to do a brand sponsorship with Dylan Mulvaney, this highly controversial, pretending to be a woman, theater actor kid? What would be the result of that? I would want to know before I made a move. But she didn't do that. And you know how I know she didn't do that? Because I listened to the way that she talked. And I'm not going to get much more into her. I talked about her in that other video. But I want to really, really emphasize that this is the downside. You don't hire woke, white women, or black women, or women at all, who are part of this cult, into your company. Don't hire them in a position of creative authority. Don't do it. It's not worth it, because this is always the result. And I mention it all the time. Star Wars. I mean, Kathleen Kennedy. Should we bring up should we bring up Ray? Should we bring up Ray? I want you to understand. They're Ray is now a single mom, and she's strong and empowered, and now she's a single mother. She doesn't need no man. They have taken this whole thing to a whole other level, and this is what happens when you put a woman in charge. You've got a Star Wars movie where a fucking pregnant woman is the main character. Fucking ridiculous. It's not Anakin Skywalker or Obi-Wan Kenobi or Luke Skywalker. No, it's this pregnant chick. She's the main character. Fucking really. Oh my god. And she's strong and independent. Oh god, it's so unbearable. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, while Bud Light continues to crumble and burn under the management of an incompetent loudmouth bimbo, I would ask that you come and join me on Rumble. That's right, it's free. Doesn't cost you a dime. And we're building something here. I'm hoping to get to 20 followers, because the whole point is to build a new platform, because YouTube is a big piece of trash. And you know what? Rumble may have some infrastructure issues right now, but they're growing and they're getting better. And YouTube doesn't seem to be. So let's take a moment to have a drink of a non-LGBTQ beer in celebration of the fact that Bud Light has taken a pounding up the ass. No pun intended. And we can take this moment to have a small victory and to appreciate the fact that other people feel as strongly about this as we do. Anyway, that'll do it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.